Well, hello, you beautiful bitches. How are you today? Hopefully, everyone had a fantastic weekend. I haven't done much astrology in any of the November readings. So, with a couple of things that are coming up this week, I thought, let's do a little video on astrology, shall we? So, kind of feel like there's a few things that we need to do a rundown on as far as what's going in the sky and what is affecting our emotions, our overall feelings towards life right now. We are currently in a period of Mercury, lovely Mercury, who cannot, he's like the drunk guy walking home from the bar that you see, and it's like one step forward, two steps back. Like, this planet has been in retrograde so much, it feels like, this year. And he is retrograde right now. We also have Venus, the planet of love, direct in Libra. Aries, they have their anus back because Uranus is in Aries. And Jupiter. Who couldn't love Jupiter? That lovely planet of luck and things just flowing to you, is in fiery Sag right now. Next Friday, or this coming Friday, the 23rd, by far one of the biggest events coming up that I want to talk about. It's kind of highlighted on my list. So, next Friday, the 23rd of November, 2018, I feel like for some should just be a day to probably hide under your blanket. I'm not going to be, negative Nancy on this, but you have a full moon at 0 degrees in Gemini. Gemini, like the need for balance or understanding both sides of yourself. Being aware of the gap, that divide that's in us. Doesn't sound too terribly crazy, right? Well, funny thing. There's also Mars squaring Jupiter, and that can evoke some fun times in the bedroom, or maybe encourage you to have some fun times outside of the bedroom. But there is more than likely going to be a debilitating amount of anger, of rage, of pushing the limit, meeting boundaries. The straw who broke the camel's back is going to be handed out, like, by the bell ringers of the Salvation Army. It's like they're just everywhere. Everywhere. Every door you approach, here's a straw. It's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, but here's a straw. Ring, 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 ring. Salvation Army bell ringers, thank you. And for all those Salvation Army bell ringers, in no way, shape, or form do I put you in any sort of category of making fun of you, whatever. I can't even tell you how much you are appreciated. You guys freeze your ass off for such a great cause. So, thank you for all of you bell ringers. Why does it matter what planets aspect what? Okay, so a full moon happens to be the time when the moon is opposite the sun, right? Think of what is opposite of the light, the dark. Now put that square Mars, who is the planet of fire and maybe going forth full steam ahead without thinking, and rage or anger, frustration, forceful approaches, maybe some impulsiveness. It's kind of like being in a dark place in your life, and then you start sending out all of those fuck you and your horse text messages while being under a mound of blankets and snack-sized candy bar wrappers in bed having the mega meltdown of the year. A lot of emotions. A lot of emotions. The moon is opposite Jupiter. Opposite the planet of luck and creativity, but it's also connected with addictions or self-control issues. So what happened when your mom told you that you weren't allowed to have another Reese's before supper, or the addict was ambushed by an intervention team? there's opposition, right? There's pushback, resentment, retaliation. Now, as I said, Mars is not the most level-headed of planets. And then you square the planet of emotional instability and the land of addiction. The first 48 is going to have plenty to keep them busy in the days leading up to this full moon and after. My fellow EMS family, if you work the 25th, 26th, fuck our lives. Really. Nurses in the ER, God bless your soul. It's so funny how you can always tell when somebody who works in healthcare or in the school systems is talking about the full moon. There's some people who are like, oh, really? That's coming up? Yeah. When was the full moon? And then there's the nurses, the doctors, the techs, every part of EMS, including dispatch, who are like, oh my God, I have mapped out the entire year and taken vacation for every one of those days because I can't even deal. It is a nightmare. And it truly does. It totally affects people. And the fact that there's astrological support or a support squad for team confrontation and also an unfortunate Jupiter that's opposite the moon makes not sending like all of those text messages, not saying the thoughts that float around in your head that you could typically rein in and hold back, pretty unlikely. It's probably all just going to come out. Kind of like in Dumb and Dumber, you know, when he is asking about his chances of dating that chick or whatever, and he's told that there's a 1 in a million or 1 in 4 million something chance. Yeah, that's about how unlikely it is that you won't send those messages. Mercury, planet of communication, in retrograde, just adds to the oh-fuckery. Because now not only are we all frustrated and a little bit bitter and angry, now even if we were just trying to have a normal conversation, things will be misconstrued or taken the wrong way. Personally, conversations in a text message are never a great idea unless you are talking about what is 2 + 2. Very factually, it's going to be 4. Anything else, you cannot understand how the person is coming across. So, relationships, those people in relationships, if you are trying to communicate with your significant other or whoever you're in a relationship with, don't text this week. That same handheld cellular device that sends all those messages, believe it or not, there's this phone function on them where you can actually talk. You can hear the other person's voice, and if you wanted to, you could do this little thing called FaceTime, which is actually kind of like talking to a person, I don't know, when you're not sitting at the table eating supper with them, and you could actually have a conversation like face-to-face, hence it's FaceTime, right? So in an attempt to not be pessimistic Patty, I'm not going to name this what I initially wanted to name it, which is murder-suicide by a gory stabbing, full moon in Gemini. Perhaps amidst this divide and the anger and destructive nature of this full moon, that in the end, it's going to bring light to how much we do have in common with others, how close of a connection we do have. That bond might be there that we didn't know was there. So to wrap up the topic of the full moon, I guess my biggest analogy, oh, we love analogies around here at NLA, is that people who are allergic to peanuts tend to probably stay away from peanuts because they know that they are going to cause a reaction that is going to be life-threatening and miserable for them, right? So those people who are already able to push your buttons, to get your goat, to trip your trigger, probably would be better served not hearing from you around these couple of days. Because there are great things that come from spontaneity and just going forth blindly and guns blazing. However, there's also a lot of babies made from drunken one-night stand situations where you were just going for it, guns blazing, and then voila! Ooh, my fire. I have a wood-burning stove. My fire just crackled really loud. Boom. Alright, enough about that shit. We have Neptune going direct on the 26th, following this shit show. And it is going to help us acknowledge and release all of those old patterns. So even if you do have a meltdown and you send out all the text messages, guess what? On the 26th, you're going to acknowledge that, and then you're going to work on it so you can release it. So then next time maybe you won't send out all the messages. It's a positive. Speaking of positive, old moon is at perigee, I believe is how you say it. What does it mean? It means that it is the closest to the earth that it will be for the year. So it is going to light up your world. There will be no more shadows hidden. There will be no more dark corners. It's all lit up. Also, I mean, dancing in the moonlight. Boom, chicka, boom, boom. It's also a time that you are going to feel like you are all that and a bag of chips. For those of you who don't normally feel like that, you should embrace this energy. If you're not looking to plant some seeds, however, perhaps you should be a little bit mindful of that. 26th might also be a good day to make some babies if you've been working on that. So, other than the things I've mentioned, we have Thanksgiving in the US. For those of you who celebrate that, happy Turkey Day. We have the crazy day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday shoppers. Your day. It's coming. You got your list made out, your whole game plan, all of your winter gear set out so you can go freeze in line. Just don't take anybody out with your cart intentionally. I mean, everybody needs their Achilles tendon. You should probably protect it. I don't think I have anything else. I know I said in the last video that Taurus, I was going to have your video up. Yep. Plans changed, but it's there. It'll work. It'll get uploaded here at some point. So time is fluid, right? For those of us who seem to have an issue getting shit out on time. It's a good thing time is fluid in astrology and tarot, because fuck I suck at being on time with things. So it's gonna be on the list of things to acknowledge. Hopefully I can let it go. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have a great week. And even if you don't, there's a chance next week will be better. Much love. Till next time. Bye-bye.